This video is designed to talk you through how to prepare the Mississippi flooding case study for your GCSE course. This video is going to make reference to a number of pages in your GCSE ebook. So if you turn to the image that we can see on the screen in your ebook, this video then will talk you through how you prepare and make your own revision notes. The area in red that we can see at the top of the screen is copied straight from the CS scheme of work, and the important part of this is this term, evaluate. Evaluate is a really important command word, and evaluate basically means that we have to give positives and we have to give negatives. Okay, so we're looking for both positives and negatives. And the absolute best candidates who score top level 3 will also give some sort of own or personal opinion in a sort of conclusion or summary at the end. So I'm looking for three things when I see this command word: positives, negatives, and own opinion. And the other aspect that they mention is the river management strategies used. This map that you can see on your ebook gives you an idea of the size of the Mississippi River and the size of its drainage basin, and the background information gives you some additional information on that. The flood that we're making reference to is 2001. 4,400 people had to move home, and the damage cost an estimated $13 million. In terms of the river management strategies, if you have a look at your ebook, you can see that strategy 1 relates to raised levees. Okay, so levees occur naturally on either side of the river, but what the American government did was they raised the levees by up to 15 metres for 3,000 kilometres. The positive aspect of this is that it allows the river to hold more water. But the negative aspect is that if the levees break, then the subsequent flooding is much worse. Okay, so you can see clearly here that evaluate the river management strategies used. The first river management strategy was the raised levees, and then we've got positives and negatives. That's written in a point, explain, expand format in your ebook, so it's easy for you to just learn that straight away. The second strategy that was used was the straightening of the river channel. Meanders were cut through over a stretch of 1,750 kilometres. Again, this reduces flooding locally is the positive, but makes flooding much worse further downstream. So whenever the river reaches the point where the meanders have no longer been straightened, the flooding in these areas is much worse. So that's a big problem. Strategy number 3 was the use of dams. The Ohio River has over 100 dams built on it. The Ohio River is a smaller tributary of the Mississippi River. The positives of dams are that they allow effective control of the river's flow, so the government can choose how much water they release or hold back in the dams. But the negative is that they are very expensive to build, and the maintenance costs of them are also very expensive. Strategy number 4 is afforestation. Afforestation is the planting of trees. Typically this occurs in the upper course. The example from this case study is that they afforested a large area in the Tennessee Valley. The positive is that the trees intercept rainfall and reduce discharge. However, the negative is that they take a long time to become fully effective. The trees need a long time in terms of a number of years to grow. They don't just get planted and become effective straight away. Strategy 5 was a government initiative called Safe Flood Zones. In areas like Rock Island, housing has been bought by the county and demolished. These houses were typically alongside the edge of the river, and they were flooded regularly. The government then purchased these houses off the homeowners, demolished them, and they turned them into sort of green spaces that couldn't be damaged when the river floods. So it produces safe areas for the river to flood into. Those are the 5 strategies that you need to be aware of, and you also need some sort of personal evaluation at the end of this. Your personal evaluation should make reference to the fact that the soft engineering strategies, so things like afforestation and safe flood zones, are much more effective at reducing the impacts of the flood than the hard engineering strategies such as the building of dams or the straightening of the rivers. What we can now see here is a typical question that occurs. This is actually from one of the past paper questions. Again, you can see that the command word here is evaluate, so we know that that means we've got to give positives, we've got to give negatives, and the top candidates who get 7 out of 7 will also express their own opinion. Okay, all of that is coming from this command word. The next piece of advice that the question tells us is that we need to see 2 river management strategies. So we like to see 2 river management strategies in our answer. So you can choose 2 from the 5, whichever 2 you know most about, or whichever 2 you find the easiest to talk about. The next thing that's important is that it is a river that you've studied outside of the British Isles. The only case study that we'll have outside the British Isles is the Mississippi. So these are the characteristics of a top level 3 answer. Let's have a look at the mark scheme. It says here most will choose Mississippi. If they choose a river in the British Isles, so if you use your Derwent case study to answer this question, it'll be a maximum of level 1, 3 marks. If you don't use a named area, no named river, it's level 2. That's very important, so that dictates what we do at the start of our answer. Award 0 for a response not worthy of credit. Level 3, 6 to 7, the examiner tells us that he wants to see an answer which addresses all aspects of the question. That's really all the aspects I've pointed out to you down here. Good geographical details, so they're looking for fact, figure, place. They're looking for figures, for example, in terms of the height of the levees, the length of the river that was improved with the levees, facts about the dams, the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio River, and you make reference to place. They're saying here that they need to see at least 2 facts or figures relating the question for top level 3. And the own opinion aspect of this evaluation question, some judgment or conclusion is needed for top level 3. So let's try and put together what an example answer would look like. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to state your case study. So a simple sentence to state that the case study that you have studied is the Mississippi. It flooded in 2001 and 4,400 people had to move home, and the damage cost an estimated $13 million. So that's simple introductory statement that we all should have. I would then take a subtitle in my answer, and I would say strategy 1. The example strategy that I'm going to use is levees. So I would simply put in the point, explain, expand, answer straight from the GCSE ebook. I would say something like levees, the natural levees were raised. The levees were raised for a height of 15 metres for a stretch of 3,000 kilometres of the Mississippi River. And then the expand would be the positive. This allows the river to hold more water, but if they break, the flooding is much worse, which is the negative. In my answer, I would then take a subtitle strategy 2. The second strategy that I prefer to talk about would be afforestation. So again, I would just put in the point, explain, expand, answer. So afforestation occurs in the upper course. Trees have been planted in the Tennessee Valley. That gets a mark for reference to place. The trees intercept rainfall and reduce discharge is the positive. However, they take a long time to become fully effective is the negative. So you can see that we have hit positives, negatives of 2 river strategies on the Mississippi. That's enough to get 6 out of the possible 7 marks that are available. The final thing then is your own or personal opinion. So I would put in a general statement here that says that a range of soft and hard engineering methods are used in this case study. The soft engineering methods are more suitable as they are more sustainable than the hard engineering methods. Full marks, 7 out of 7.